What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph? You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, we're coming back to Seikima II. Yes, indeed. Seikima II fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bob, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Brett Parks, and this is actually one of Brett's 3 prioritized requests for the month of June for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Brett. Hope you enjoy the show, man. Brett wanted to see me react to this. It is Seikima II with a tune called From Hell with Love.
You sentimental drivel poop.
Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, yeah, I've heard this song before, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Anlon Khan, okay? And the video has 8,300 views. It's not gonna get you there, sorry. Now look, I'm sure the song is fine, I'm sure the video's fine, I'm sure everything's fine. I'm just saying, 8,300 views, it's not gonna get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Seikima II, The Great Black Mass Tour, 1986. Yeah, okay, so this is a full show, that's right. Brett gave me this. It is a full show. He told me to start at 11:55, which is right where I'm at here. And I'm supposed to stop at 18:50. Right there. So, yeah, well, we know how that goes. Usually I remember to stop, but there have been a few times I haven't. So we'll see how accurate I am today. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
From hell with love.
Definitely got that 80s sound. Definitely got that 80s feel. Instrumentally, kind of getting shades of Dokken from it, if I'm being honest. Like back from the Attack Dokken. It's good. It sounds dated. I mean, obviously, but it sounds good. I have no problem with the song or the songwriting. I actually like the modulation. I believe that was the chorus we just heard not too long ago, where we moved up a full step. That sounded really nice. I dug that. It was nice to hear some harmonies in there. Musically, I'm digging everything I'm seeing. Visually, I'm sure there's a reason for this. I'm sure there is. This is a very theatrical band, and they're very much into telling stories, both with, you know, music and words and visuals. I'm sure there's a reason for this, but this is not sitting well with me. The sitting down. I've never understood it. I've never liked it. I've never done it. I never will do it. If I am that tired that I need to sit down during a show, then that is my cue to retire. That is my big red flag of saying, DH, time to hang up the bass, time to stop, dominating stages, and it's time for you to rest. You know what I mean? I would never, unless there is a specific reason, like, okay, I have sat down on stage before for the intent purpose. Like, I will go up to the edge of the stage, sit down, dangle my feet off the stage, and kick them around to, interact with the crowd. Try to get the crowd to grab my boots or whatever. Okay, fine, sure, no problem. That's different. If I'm just sitting down, just for the sake of sitting down, no, that's never going to happen. And like I said, if it ever does, then I need to quit, and I need to stop, and I need to stop touring. I need to stop live play, because that's not me giving my best. It's not. If that's my best, it's not good enough. Not by my standards. I hold myself to a very high standard when it comes to live play, and if I'm going to be sitting down and not giving the people in the crowd their money's worth, I need to stop, and I need to get out. Plain and simple. I am sure there is a reason for this. I am sure it's part of telling the story. I don't know what that story is. And I don't know, man. I mean, it looks like it's an elaborate chair. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there's a reason for it. But it's still, to me, it still looks bad. It's still taking a seat. And from what I've seen of Demon in the past, this is weird. And like I said, I don't know how this is going to fit in with the score. I don't know. There has got to be a reason for it. He would never just sit down just because he's tired. I don't buy that. So there's got to be a reason, but to me, it still looks bad. I don't like it. Everything else looks good. Everybody else is moving around the stage. Everybody else is, interacting with the crowd and everything. So everything else looks good. This is the only blight right here. This is it. Not thrilled about it. Anyway, let's keep going here.
demon is coming to town. From hell with love. She says, this is the last warning you must obey. Join us. Join us. Or you can't keep alive anymore.
Yeah, I like the lower voice on him a little bit. That's some Merciful Fate vibes right there, with the high falsetto, with the melodic movement underneath within the instrumentation, especially with the descending melodic instrumentation. That's very Merciful Fate-ish. I like it. Guitar solos, nice. Primarily the one guy on stage, right? Obviously, it was primarily him, but we had another guitar player on stage left doing some harmonizing with him. It sounded really good, very clean. But some really smooth fingering and picking from him on stage right. Really nice. I don't know what the story is here. I know they're telling a story, but I don't know what the story is. I'm actually pretty intrigued. Like I'm kind of getting Christmas vibes. It looked like Santa was in the back up on the stairs, ready to get, executed by a couple of axes, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't know. But I am kind of intrigued with what the story behind this song is. It's interesting. It's definitely keeping me engaged. The production, the backlighting with the candle, they're not candelabras, they're just candles. I'm sure they're like electronic. I'm sure they're not real. But that's a nice touch. The centerpiece here. I saw the stairway split down the middle. Good design. Gives you a lot of options you can work with as far as entering and exiting the stage. No, this is great production. It's great production. It'll definitely help add a couple of bonus points for sure. When Demon went down to that lower voice, I kind of dug that. I know it's not normally where he sings from, but it was a nice touch. It was a nice little deviation. Something I don't think I've ever heard Demon do before, getting down that low like that. That was nice. It was a very nice addition. Let's finish this out and we'll get to the review.
Join us. This is the last warning you must obey. Or you can keep alive anymore. From hell with love. Or you can keep alive anymore. This is the last warning you must obey. Join us, join us. From hell with love. Or you can keep alive.
It's just constantly growing. I like it. It's taking us somewhere. To the chorus. I missed it. I missed it. 1850. And I missed it by 3 seconds. Oh my God.
You suck.
Fire me now. Just fire me. Send me on my way. Hand me my walking papers. That last note, man. It wasn't so much the note that he hit. I've heard him hit that note before. It was the sustain that kind of surprised me there. That was impressive. In a live situation, being able to sustain that long without assistance, that was impressive, I gotta say. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot I gotta think about. There's a lot I gotta take into account. One big factor in particular, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm not sure. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Seikima II with From Hell with Love. This was a request from Brett Parks, and this was actually one of Brett's 3 prioritized requests for the month of June for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Brett. Hope you enjoyed the show, man. There was, okay. I had to think about this for quite a bit, but really, I didn't have to think a whole lot about a lot of things. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you folks, I spent about 15 minutes thinking about this, and 12 of those minutes were spent on one thing. Everything else, I thought about it, but it fell into place pretty quickly, so I didn't have to think a whole lot about, like, seriously, 90% of what I saw. But the one thing that did stick out to me, I really had to think about, and I had to do some soul searching, and I had to really kind of ask myself, what am I adjudicating this on? So, am I allowing personal feelings to come into play, or am I going to really and truly look at this objectively, whether for better or for worse? And I have always prided myself on keeping myself in my views, especially when it comes to my scoring. I've always prided myself on being objective. So when I give the score, keep in mind, please, that this is not based on subjectivity. This is not based about how I personally feel, like opinion-wise. This is based on objectivity. So it's not necessarily how I just personally feel about something. It's I gotta be objective, and I gotta look at this from the standpoint of, you know, from a technical standpoint, a musicality standpoint, a professionalism standpoint, a performance standpoint. I gotta take all this into account, not just, you know, how I personally feel. So please keep that in mind, all right? Let's start off with the score. Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am gonna give that a 7.7. Yeah, 7.7. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay, first things first, 7.7. What does that mean? Well, a 7.7 would translate to a really good scale rating, so I think it's a really good song, all right? It would also translate to 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. So, there you go. 7.7, really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars and a B+ letter grade. Now, how did I come up with this score? So glad you asked. As a song goes, not the strongest song I've heard from Seikima II. I've heard many other songs from this band on this channel that have literally blown this song out of the water, okay? Having said that though, did they do anything wrong with the song? No, the songwriting was just fine. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, okay, considering the fact that this was filmed in 1986, it's very time appropriate. Absolutely. It sounds 80s. It absolutely does. I used the comparison of Dokken, and I still stand by that. It very Dokken-ish in its songwriting and its progression, especially the modulation up in the chorus, moving up a full step. Very Dokken-ish, especially mid-80s Dokken. But I mean, it sounded really good. I got no issue with the song. Everything they did made sense musically. There were some nice things happening in there. The guitar solo, very nice, very well done, very well constructed. Sharing responsibility with the other guitar player over on stage left a little bit, not a lot. It's not like it was an even split. The guitar player over on stage right did like 80% of the work, but the guitar player over on stage left, when it was time for him to come in and harmonize and contribute, it sounded just fine. Everything happening in the verse sounded good. It had a nice solid groove. It was solid. It wasn't the strongest groove I've heard from Seikima II. It wasn't the most powerful groove I've heard from Seikima II, but it was really good. And I got no issue with it. The harmonies and the vocals were nice when they would kick in very well, or call and response. Was quite a bit of call and response in there as well. Demon's vocals sounded really good. Got no issue with it. Very fitting for the style of the song. I liked when he went down to that lower register. I don't think I've ever heard him go down that low before. It sounded good. I mean, it did bottom out a little bit. You could hear he was at times a bit on the lower notes when he was getting to it under the lowest notes he went to. You could hear him struggle a little bit. It was getting a little under his range, but he still made it work. So no issues there. And I gotta say, that last note that he hit, it was impressive, but it was impressive not for the reasons everybody think it was. Hitting the note that he hit, getting up as high as he got, I can't really say that was impressive because I've heard him hit that note before. You know, that wasn't a shock. What did surprise me and what did impress me though was the length that he held the note for. His sustain, really, that was impressive. It really was. It was completely unassisted, no effects, no delay, no assistance from anybody else in the band, you know, to reinforce and, you know, pick up where he left off so he could take a breath and come back in seamlessly like I've seen other bands do. No, he did it all himself, and I gotta say that was impressive. It actually was. Production. I've always said on the channel that production is bonus points. You don't, unless you're a production-based band. Like if you're one of these bands who has all the members literally just standing like statues and you rely completely on production to, you know, provide the live stage show, then you better have it. But Seikima II is not one of those bands. The members of the band are very good about moving around the stage, creating their own energy, interacting with each other, interacting with the crowd. They always bring the show themselves. So they don't need production, but production, when it's done well, will get you bonus points. It definitely did. I love the set design, very well thought out. Lots of places to move around, got some good ramp usage. The stairs with the split give you a lot of options for entering and exiting, either subtly or theatrically, depending on if you have a backlight on with those stairs or not. If the stairs split and there's no light on, nothing coming out of it, and you have some bright lights coming down from the front into the crowd, you could have people go through those stairs and people in the crowd won't even see it. On the flip side, you have a backlight, like a spot or a flood behind the stairs, and the stairs split and you have fog like we saw. Then obviously it's a far more theatric. It's a very well thought out and diverse option when it comes to set design. I think that was really smart. Wish more bands would do that. The lighting was good. I like the candles. I know they're electronic, but they still add a nice atmosphere. The centerpiece, the head up at the top of the set, very nice, good atmosphere there. Now the production was really nicely done. Speaking of production, here's where I have a bit of an issue. The chair, the sitting down in the chair. I wrestled with this. This is why I spent, seriously, 12 out of the 15 minutes I spent thinking about this. This was what I was contemplating. How is this going to affect the score? I have never been a fan of performers sitting down. I think it looks tacky. I think it looks lazy. I think it looks undisciplined. I've never been a fan. I've seen people on stage sit down for absolutely no reason, and it upsets me. It does more than upset me. I'm just gonna come out flat and say it, especially when I'm one of the people that are actually paying money to come out and see the band. I pay $80, $100, $150, whatever, to come out and see the band, and band members spend half the time sitting on drum risers and whatnot. I'm just gonna say it. It pisses me off. I want my money back because this is not what I paid for. You know, I didn't pay to see performers sitting down because they're tired, because they've had a long tour. Suck it up. Seriously, you're charging people ridiculous amounts of money and you have the gall, the audacity to sit on your ass while you're taking these people's hard-earned money and giving them, at best, a half-assed product? No. I can't support that. I can't back that. I can't accept that. You know, not when you have other bands who are charging far less and are giving 4 to 5 times more effort and more energy than you are. That just really upsets me. It really does. Like I said, I would never sit down on stage unless there is a specific reason. And that's where I'm having the hang up. I know there's got to be a reason for this. Like, when I sit down on the stage, it's for a specific reason. It's for me to interact with the crowd. I'll go out to the very front of the stage, sit down on the edge of the stage, dangle my feet off the stage, and kick my feet around and try to get the crowd to grab my boots or whatever. That's crowd interaction. There's a specific reason for me to sit down like that, and that's the reason, okay? You'll never see me sitting down on a drum riser, ever. But that's the problem I'm having here. Is he sitting down? Yes. But there's got to be a reason for it, and I'm saying that for 2 reasons. 3 reasons, actually. 1, looking at the chair, the way it's designed. It was designed to be a part of the show. It's not just a chair. You know, if you really look at the design of that chair, it looks like a throne, for crying out loud, on wheels. Kind of a futuristic throne on wheels, if I'm being honest, with all the tubes and stuff sticking out of it. So it was designed. It was made specifically for the purpose of this show. That's number 1. Number 2, while he was sitting down in the chair, he was still interacting with the crowd. He was looking on the crowd, he was engaging the crowd, and the chair was being moved by a stagehand in costume. So again, this was planned. This was designed to happen. There was a reason for it. And then the 3rd reason would be, while he was sitting down for this song, there have been other songs that I've seen from this show where he was not sitting down. So there was a reason for this, and I have a feeling it ties in with the story that was being told on stage and during the course of the song and within the song itself. So here's where I was struggling. My own personal feelings versus reason, purpose, design. I struggled with this, and this is the sad part. I should not have, because reason, purpose, objective, design should be outweighing my own personal feelings, right? It should. But this is such a big gripe of mine. It really is. And sometimes I have a hard time letting go of it. I really do. And I've seen on this channel performers sitting down, and I've slammed the hell out of them because there was no design. There was no objective. There was no purpose. It was just performers sitting down just because they felt like it. Going back to my original argument. This time, My own personal feelings being what they are, being as strong as they are, the conviction I have regarding this subject, I really had to put some chill on them. I really did, because there were so many things on this side: production, design, objective, purpose, reason. They had to take charge. They had to be in control. And my personal feelings had to be put aside. They had to. So, did him sitting down affect the score? No, it did not. I was able to put my personal feelings aside and look at this objectively and say, there is a reason. There is a purpose. So, let it go. So that did not affect the score whatsoever. Okay, just letting everybody know. As far as the rest of the live show goes, everything looked fine. Stage presence was there. Stage energy was there. Stage interaction, we really didn't see a whole lot of the members interacting with each other. Crowd interaction, yeah, we saw that. We definitely saw that. Showmanship, can't believe I'm gonna say it, but him sitting in the chair was pretty entertaining. It kind of was. So, yeah, you know, looking like an old man in a wheelchair telling a story to his grandkids or something like that. I have a feeling that might be where we went with the story. I don't know. Somebody please tell me what the story of this song is about. And then production, it gave it some bonus points. It absolutely did. So you take all of these things combined, the songwriting, the performance, the production, you take everything into account, and we end up with a 7.7. I feel good about that score, and that is where we're gonna stay. So let's wrap everything up here in a nice shiny bow. We got a 7.7, which is a really good scale rating, 4 to 5 stars, and a B+ letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.